I'm Staff Sergeant Stephen Still from the Defence Medical Academy. In this lesson we're going to talk about consent. By the end of the lesson you will be able to explain the term consent, explain the importance of consent, explain the 3 types of consent, and explain the duty of candour. Consent means a patient must give permission for any medical procedure. Consent is to be recorded on the relevant treatment form. Consent is a vital part of medical ethics. It's also a part of international human rights law. So types of consent, there's verbal. This is when the patient gives a verbal response. So you ask them if you can take blood and they say yes, that's okay. Written, a patient has signed a form, i.e. for surgery. Implied consent, you state that you need to do a medical procedure, but again taking blood and they hold out their arm silently. That's implied consent. Okay. Scenario 1. A patient is brought to you by their company sergeant major. The company sergeant major states that he wants you to take a blood sample off the individual as they believe they are drunk. What do you do? Scenario 2. On a patrol, a colleague becomes injured and slips into unconsciousness. Life-saving treatment is needed to preserve your colleague's life, but as they are unconscious, no consent can be given. Three components of consent. Voluntary. The decision to consent must be made by the person with no outside influence, from friends, family or medical staff. You cannot influence their decision. Informed. The person must be in possession of all the facts about what the treatment involves, benefits and risks and any reasonable alternatives. Capacity. The person must be capable of giving consent, which means able to understand the information you have given them. The duty of candour. You must be open, honest and transparent with the patient. As a healthcare support worker, you must inform your patient that you are not clinically trained, but you do have extended first aid training. You must also let them know that a registered healthcare professional will be involved in their healthcare as early as possible. In summary, you should now be able to explain the term consent, explain the importance of consent, explain the 3 types of consent, and explain the duty of candour. Here's some references for further information.